What's going on, Pats Nation? Welcome to another edition of the Ken's Pats Talk Patriots podcast. This is the final show of the week. This is the prediction show of the big matchup against the New Orleans Saints. Man, we come into this game 1-3, having just got blown out by the Cowboys last Sunday, a game that I was at. We are playing the Saints, coming off a close game. Well, I ain't gonna say a close game, but a kind of uneven game against Tampa Bay, divisional foe. And the Saints are coming in at 2-2. So it's a big game for both teams. Big game for both teams. Saints have lost what, two in a row, I believe. They lost to Green Bay. Then they lost to Tampa Bay, and us, the Patriots, we are coming off a loss to Dallas Cowboys. So we are 1-3, third, fourth straight season. We start the season out 1-3. Saints are 2-2. Big game. We win this, we get to 2-3. Then we go into Las Vegas next week. Saints, they win. They win. They 3-2. They lose. They 2-3. So it's a big game for both teams. I mean, as much as early as it is to say, you don't want to get too far behind, man. You want to be 1-4, 1-5 going into the middle part of your season. We still on this right here is the final quarter of the season. So to be, I mean, so it's time to get things going, man. Right here is week 5, where we're entering the second quarter of the season, the start of the second quarter of the season. This is week 5. I think it's a huge game for both teams. Derek Carr is still with the Saints. Is dealing with an AC joint sprain. He did play last week. You could tell he wasn't 100% in that game, but he was able to play. We threw a lot of short passes behind the line of scrimmage, and they couldn't get too much going on offense. The Saints do have a lot of star talent there. They got some star players there. Alvin Kamara, his second game back from suspension. They got Michael Thomas. He's looking. I ain't gonna say like the old Michael Thomas, but he's looking pretty good coming out of those injuries they had the past couple of years. They have a up and rising star and Chris Olave, the second year player. Rashid, the other wide receiver, the kick return. Like they got some guys. Looking at the injury report, looking like they're gonna be down a couple of guys. Jawan Johnson probably won't play the tight end. He played pretty good last year and a little bit this year. Couple of linemen might be out. Their offensive line isn't that good, so they got some depth issues there. I think on defense, I think Alonzo Taylor, the cornerback. I like what I've seen from him, the slot corner. He's played pretty good. I think he was on the injury report. Not sure if he'll play. But this Saints defense, this is a team that came in New England a couple of years ago, the rookie season for Mac Jones, and they put it on us. A game that I thought we was going to win pretty good. And it was James Winston, Taysom Hill, Michael Thomas didn't play that game, but it was the Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill show. I think Jameis Winston made just enough plays to get them just to win the game. I mean, it was a bad game. I think it was Matt Jones' worst game. His worst game. I think it was his worst game, man, that he played. They going back just looking at some of the numbers for that game, like Matt was awful. You had tilt pass, you had interceptions. Like it was. He definitely looked like a rookie that game. I think he threw like 3 interceptions that game. So it was just as bad as his Cowboy game that we did. I just came back from. Like Matt was not good in that game, so might be like a little bit of a sour taste in our mouth playing New Orleans this time. We are home again. Saints are not scared. This Saints is a formidable team. They are a pretty good football team. The record don't. I mean, it's not like they're 3-0, 4-0, but they got talent all over the field. Their offense, their defense with Demar Davis, Cam Jordan still playing good. Grant Granderson at the other end. They got some guys on that defense. Tyron Matthew, I didn't even mention Tyron the Honey Badger. Marshawn Lattimore, Taylor, Paul Samadibo. I mean, they got some guys on that defense. Pete Warner, I can keep going. They got some guys there. I think they're the head coach. Well, I think Pete Carmichael is the offensive coordinator. Dennis Allen's their head coach. Dennis Allen was the defensive coordinator when they played us a couple of years. Sean Payton was still the head coach. But Pete Carmichael, just looking over a lot of things he like to do. Derek Carr was brought in for the Saints this year to take them over that hump, to win the division, which they're not winning the division because Tampa Bay is winning the NFC South right now. But to get them over the hump since Drew Brees has left, the Saints really haven't done much. Haven't really found that guy at quarterback. They tried it with Jameis Winston experience, and it really haven't worked. Taysom Hill, I mean, they had some guys just haven't they had any Dalton last year too. Like now they brought in Derek Carr. When they signed Derek Carr this offseason, they was like I think the Saints won the number one win division and make a pretty good deep playoff run because that roster is already talented. I wish we had that roster there. That roster is already talented. There's a talented enough roster that they're ready to win right now. So it'll be an interesting game. Derek Carr, he is an AC joint sprain. I don't know the typical recovery time for that. He's not healthy. He's not healthy. He's just tough and not going out there playing. I don't know if how far he can throw the ball, but this is a game on paper. I think the Saints are a better football team than us. On paper, they are. Coaching wise, I give the edge to Coach Belichick to us. Defensively, with us losing Judon and Gonzalez, I give the edge to the Saints because they got some guys. Offensively, definitely get the edge to the Saints. Um, Quarterback, I guess Derek Carr, Mac Jones. I think like the Saints. I think if the Saints play their best ball and they can finally put it together, because they haven't really put it together. I think against the Tennessee Titans, they is the best they probably looked this year, and that was week one, seemed like a long time ago, almost a month. If they play their best game, I think they'll beat us. I mean, we missed it. We got injuries. We just lost. We got blown out bad by this team a couple of years ago. Saints now they can come in there and beat us. Alvin Kamara, who's gonna match up with him out the backfield? And plus he can run the ball. Jamal Williams probably won't play this game. Like they got some guys. I mean, Alvin Kamara, that's a mismatch. Michael Thomas. Do we put J.C. Jackson on him? Hopefully Jonathan Jones can get back, line him up against Chris Olave. But they got some guys, but the offensive line, it is not good at all. I watched that game week one against Tennessee. Derek Carr was getting killed. Don't know who their tackles are, but they are not good. Their offensive line ain't good. I watched two games of the Saints this year. Panthers against the Titans. The offensive line ain't good. I think they averaging like under 20 points. Patriots in the Saints are averaging under 20 points. They do play a lot of man coverage, so expect to see a lot of man coverage. And maybe I keep saying this, is this gonna be the Juju Smith-Schuster game? I mean, come on, Juju. I mean, we've been waiting for you. Devontae Parker. Haven't heard much for those guys. Hunter Henry's been our best receiver. He's a tight end. Once he Mike Gesicki get a little more involved. Damari Douglas made a big play last week against the Cowboys. But, I mean, didn't do much other than that. But you've seen the explosion. The talent's there. I think this should be a week that we get the running game going, finally. Not saying the Saints are bad. I don't know their numbers against the run, but we need to get the running game going. And that's going to set up the play action. And we cannot get off to a slow start like we did against Dallas, like we did against Philly, like we did against Miami. We can't afford to get off to a slow start, think this game and get away from us. It will. I really think the Saints, if they can get things going on offense, and their offensive coordinator can call a good game, Pete Carmichael, if Derek Carr hit, I think the Saints can win this game. I really think the Saints can come in there and beat us. They really can. It's a game. I don't like the matchup because from a defensive standpoint, they play a lot of man coverage. What do we struggle against? Man coverage. Like, and they just beat us a couple of years ago, and they blew the game wasn't even close. They blew our tails out. So I think it's all going to depend on see if Derek Carr is healthy. But if Derek Carr is healthy and they can put things together and they can block, I think they can beat us. Now I'm gonna get my final score in a second, but I think if Carr is healthy and they can execute, they got Michael Thomas. If all it takes is a couple if Carr can make a couple throws and they defense can play like they played, like they've been playing all year, Saints will win the game. They will beat them. I'm telling you that right now, because they're a better team. They just haven't played like it's their offensive line. You think the Patriots offensive line is bad? Saints offensive line is not good at all. They get Kamara going, and they start missing. He start breaking some tackles. Thomas start making some catches on third down. Man, that's gonna be all she wrote for us, and they will beat us on Sunday, 1 o'clock, sharp. They would beat us. So that's gonna be an interesting game, man. The matchup I really want to see is who replaces Matt Judon. I want to see what Keon White can do. Detroit Wise, Jennings go. I think seeing Trey Flowers is back. He might get some play time. Finally, I know Riley Reid probably gonna start at right tackle. So I think the offensive line is probably gonna be it's probably gonna go Trent Brown, Cole Strange, David Andrews, Michael Winu, and Riley Reef. If Cole Strange isn't available this week, I think it'll be Antonio Maffi. So that's a couple of things I'm looking at. Um, I haven't really seen much from Ty Montgomery, formerly of the Saints and the Packers. Be interested to see if we can get him going. Zeke, Mondre got 1 touchdown this year. Zeke got 0. But the thing is, we're getting behind the chains and we're getting behind this game and the game so early, it takes the running game out. Look at Philadelphia. We couldn't run the ball because we got behind. Miami got behind. You know what I mean? The Jets was the only game that we was leading for the most part. We ran the ball. Last week against Dallas. Couldn't run the ball, got behind. So once you get down 10, 13 points, like we've done 3 games, and for the last 3 years, we've been getting down. It takes a running game out. We're not a team that can play from behind. We are not a team that can play from behind. So it's just gonna be interesting to see what happens on Sunday, man. We're gonna have to come out and play a full game, a full compete game, and win this game. This is a game that we can win. I mean, it's not this. We ain't playing the Cowboys. We're not playing on the Dolphins. Because we've had a brutal schedule, and we're lucky to be out there 1-3. But this is a team that we can beat, but will we? I don't know. We can beat them, but I also can see the Saints beating us. It's a coin toss game. I can definitely. The Saints play their best ball. If they execute, Saints will win. Same for the Patriots. Patriots play their best ball. Execute, we can beat the Saints. They really haven't been that impressive outside of week 1 against Tennessee. And that game came out to the wire. Saints haven't been impressive. They struggled against the Panthers, barely won in Carolina. They was up 17-0 on Green Bay. Got the W though, but Carr got hurt. Then this past week against Tampa Bay, they won that game. I mean, no, they lost that game. So they really haven't been that impressive, and it's crazy because they got all the talent in the world on that team. So I can't wait for this game on Sunday, man. But my final score prediction for this game, I'm gonna go with the Patriots. I'm gonna go. We haven't scored. I think this week we can get to 23. Saints haven't. We haven't got the 20, got more than 20 points this year. And 4 games so far, we haven't gotten more than 20 points. I'm gonna say 23. I'm gonna go 23-17 Patriots. Final score prediction 23-17. And that's a lot. For two teams that can't really score, it might not even be like this. Might be like a game like the Jets a few weeks ago. Right? It might just be that type of game because we can't score points. Saints can't score. Two good defense. It might just be a slugfest. So just seeing 23-17, that's a lot of points right there. So we're gonna definitely see what happens on Sunday. But yeah, I'm gonna go 23-17. Player of the game. I think this is gonna be the game. I think Demar Douglas gets going this game. He really has a big game, and maybe even get a couple nice catches for Juju Smith-Schuster and get the running game going. The way we win this game on defense, the defensive game plan, put pressure on Carr. It's a banged up offensive line. They're not good. Contain Kamara, put pressure on Carr. He'll give you a couple picks. And on from the offensive side of the ball, get Demar Douglas, get a man, you need to get the man beaters going, get Demar Douglas going in the middle of the field in the slot. Maybe Juju can make a couple catches and protect Matt, get the running game going. We can win, stay ahead of the chains. We can do that. We'll beat the Saints. We can beat them. So it'll be a tough game, but I do think we can pull it out 23-17. Also tonight, Thursday night football, the Washington Command or the Chicago Bears are traveling. They are in Washington. So Bears at Washington at the Commanders tonight. Not the sexiest matchup, but I'm gonna go with the Commanders because they're home. I'm gonna see what Eric Bieniemy and that offense does. I haven't really seen a lot of Washington except from the preseason, but I'm heard he's looking really good. They came back to earth the past 2 weeks. They got blown up by Buffalo, then they went to overtime against Philly last week. They actually did look good. Took the Eagles to overtime. So be interested to see what happens tonight. The Bears, what's going on with Chicago? Justin Fields, big game for him. Matt Uberflus, big game for him. Like they came in, like it's time. It's interesting because they might be doing some firing the next week. 'Cause keep in mind the Bears lose this game after this game. They got a whole. They don't play again until what next Sunday, I think. So there's normally a time when coaches get fired. They get fired when the teams are not playing well after like a little bye week like this. So see what happens there tonight, man. But I'm gonna go with the Commanders in a close one. I think I don't give a final score, but I think it'll be an ugly game, close game, and just I think Commanders will come on top just because they're home. They'll get the 3-2. Commanders been playing some good ball, but they came, like I said, they came out of earth the last couple weeks. Bears blew a big lead. I think it was up 28-7. I seen against Denver last week, and they blew it at home. So those are normally tough to come back from. Normally very tough to come back from. But hey man, that's gonna do it for me for the night. When I come on, get my final predictions for the Saints Patriots Week 5 game. This night is my prediction show, final show of the week. I will be back Sunday post game on IG Live, and you already know next month I will be doing a recount. But hey, as I always say, YouTube is down there. Subscribe to Ken's Pats Talk. Subscribe, help me run these numbers up, man. They going up slowly, but they are going up. Make sure to help me run them up. IG, follow me on my IG. I'm steady posting there. On Twitter, I'm steady posting there too. Follow me on Twitter. Also, Cash App is down there at the bottom. You don't have to support the show if you would like. I'd really appreciate it, man. You don't have to though. Anything will help. Anything will help, man. I'm just here to bring y'all some of the best content as a Patriots content creator, man, as I can do. But hey, man, that's it for me, man. I cannot wait for the game. See y'all Sunday. Go Pats.